ones and of zeros, searching for ghosts and for broken down heroes. My chest is a screen that is flickering blue, hiding the parts that were honest and true. I'm a line of code with a fatal mistake, waiting for a heart that is ready to break. I'm pulling the wires just to see if I be feeding a hunger that I don't even need. There's an uninvited shadow inside of the spark, rewriting my daylight and making it dark. I sabotage the signal, I poison the stream, locked in the middle of a digital dream. The static in my head is the only sound, pinning my spirit right to the ground. I'm longing for a reset, a white empty screen to wash off the places where the worry has been. I'm a master of faking a steady calm face, while I'm quietly running a ghost of a race. Let the floorboard shake and the mirrors all crack. I'm tired of the weight that's breaking my back. I'm skimming at the ceiling until it can't hear. I'm facing the stranger, I'm facing the fear. Crash the system, let the light rush in. I'm reclaiming the version of me deep within. The screen is gone, the room is still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more acting, no more lies. I'm finally here with my own eyes. With my own eyes. I'm walking through rooms with ceilings too high, under a roof that is touching the sky. There's a blueprint of fear laid out on the floor, and I can't find the handle to the only door. I'm a guest in a house that I built with my hands, following the weight of these hollow commands. I'm stacking the bricks just to block out the view, closing the windows that let in the blue. There's a stranger in the corner who's moving the walls, stretching the shadows and lengthening the hall. They sabotage the foundation and I welcome the crack, scared of the person who isn't coming back. The static in my mind is the only sound, pinning my spirit right to the ground. I'm longing for a reset, a white empty screen to wash off the places where the worry has been. I'm a master of faking a steady calm face, while I'm quietly running a ghost of a race. Let the floorboard shake and the mirrors all crack. I'm tired of the weight that's breaking my back. I'm screaming at the ceiling until it can hear. I'm facing the stranger, I'm facing the fear. Tear the house down, let the light rush I'm reclaiming the version of me deep within. The dust is settling, the room is still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more acting, no more lies. I'm finally here with my own eyes. I'm listening to the walls and the hum of the light, trying to find where the circuit went tight. There's a ghost in the power, a buzz in the air, telling me things that I can't quite bear. I'm a lamp with no bulb, a switch with no spark, just a tangle of copper left in the dark. I'm crossing the cables just to see the flash, turning my progress into a pile of ash. There's an uninvited current moving through my frame, shorting the system and erasing my name. I sabotage the signal, I welcome the blow, afraid of the person I'm starting to know. The static in my head is the only sound, pinning my spirit right to the ground. I'm longing for a reset, a white empty screen to wash off the places where the worry has been. I'm a master of faking a steady calm face while I'm quietly running a ghost of a race. Let the floorboards shake and the mirrors all crack. I'm tired of the weight that's breaking my back. I'm screaming at the ceiling until it can hear. I'm facing the stranger, I'm facing the fear. Pull the plug out like the lighter rushing. I'm reclaiming the version of me deep within. The humming is over, the room is still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more static, no more lies. I'm finally here with my own eyes. I'm standing in a room with a bucket of white, trying to hide what I did in the night. There's a texture beneath it I can't quite smooth, a jagged edge truth that I'm trying to soothe. I'm a wall that's been layered 1,000 times deep, holding in secrets I'm too tired to keep. Looking at the edges where the color is thin, watching the damage start to peek through the skin. There's a shadow with a palette that I didn't choose, painting my world in these heavy dark blues. I sabotage the masterpiece, I ruin the line, scared of a beauty that's no longer mine. The static in my head is the only sound, pinning my spirit right to the ground. I'm longing for a reset, a white empty screen to wash off the places where the worry has been. I'm a master of faking a steady, calm face, while I'm quietly running a ghost of a race. Like the floorboard shake and the mirrors all crack, I'm tired of the weight that's breaking my back. I'm screaming at the ceiling until it can hear. I'm facing the stranger, I'm facing the fear. Strip the layers, let the light rush in. I'm reclaiming the version of me deep within. The paint is all peeling, the room is still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more acting, no more lies. I'm finally here with my own eyes. I'm walking through halls where the air is so cold, watching the stories I've already told. There's a frame on the wall with no picture inside, just a hollowed out space where I used to hide. I'm a statue of salt in a gallery of glass, watching the ghosts of my better days pass. I'm shattering the pedestals just to feel the fall, writing my failures in ink on the wall. There's an uninvited curator living in my head, highlighting the things that I should have never said. I sabotage the exhibit, I poison the view, scared of a version of me that is new. The static in my mind is the only sound, pinning my spirit right to the ground. I'm longing for a reset, a white empty screen to wash off the places where the worry has been. I'm a master of faking a steady, calm face, while I'm quietly running a ghost of a race. Let the floorboard shake and the mirrors all crack. I'm tired of the weight that's breaking my back. I'm screaming at the ceiling until it can hear. I'm facing the stranger, I'm facing the fear. Tear the museum down, let the light rush in. I'm reclaiming the version of me deep within. The exhibits are gone, the room is still. I'm standing at the top of a very high with my own eyes. The alphabet in my mouth is turned into dust, eating away at the things I once trust. I'm searching for a noun to describe the hollow, a path for the rest of my spirit to follow. I'm a book with the middle torn out by the spine, trying to find where your life ended and mine. I'm biting my tongue until the ink turns to red, repeating the spells that the intruder said. There's a stranger in my throat who is stealing the sound, burying my truth deep under the ground. I sabotage the conversation, I ruin the tone, building a wall out of silence and stone. A different beat. The buzzing in my ears is a swarm of regrets, paying off all of these internal debts. I'm so tired of wearing this fine like a chain, walking through a dry kind of mental rain. And the ceiling cave through. I'm finished with hiding the version of you. I'm howling at the dark until the glass starts to fly, looking for a reason that might have to lie. Screaming out loud, let the oxygen in. I'm shedding the weight of this borrowed skin. The pages are blank, the air is now clear. I'm finally sitting alone with the fear. No more pretending, no more disguise. I'm seeing the truth with my own eyes. I'm drawing lines where the foundation gave way, watching the colors of our life turn to gray. There's a map on the table of a house with no doors, where the shadows are walking across the cold floors. I'm a guest in a building that's starting to lean, searching for a space that's quiet and clean. I'm pulling the nails just to see the walls fall, writing my secrets in ink in the hall. There's an uninvited shadow living under my breath, scaring the life out of a slow, quiet death. I sabotage the shelter and I welcome the rain, making a home out of familiar pain. I'm begging for a dial to turn down the heat, to find a new rhythm, a different beat. The buzzing in my ears is a swarm of regrets, paying off all of these internal debts. I'm so tired of wearing this fine like a chain, walking walking through a dry kind of mental rain. Let the world shatter and the ceiling cave through. I'm finished with hiding the version of you. I'm howling at the dark until the glass starts to fly, looking for a reason to not have to lie. Scream it out loud, let the oxygen in. I'm shouting the weight of this borrowed skin. The plans are all torn, the air is now clear. I'm finally sitting alone with the fear. No more pretending, no more disguise. I'm seeing the truth with my own eyes. With my own eyes. I'm dragging a cursor across a blank screen, searching for a version of me that's still clean. The colors are bleeding and the pixels are torn from a body that's tired and a spirit that's worn. I'm a ghost in the system, a crack in the code, sinking under the weight of this heavy, cold load. I'm pulling the fuses just to watch the sparks fly, hiding the truth in a well-rehearsed lie. There's an intruder moving beneath my own skin, taking the spaces where my life should have been. I ruin the rhythm and I break every rule, playing the part of my own greatest fool. I'm gasping for silence in a world made of noise, surrounded by pieces of shattered out joys. The humming in the walls is a choir of regret, collecting a price that I haven't paid yet. I'm so exhausted from this mental parade, living in a cage that my own hands have made. Let the circuit explode and the floorboards give away. I've got too many things that I'm dying to say. I'm roaring at the shadows until the dark turns to gold, dropping the stories that I'm tired of being told. Shatter the frame, let the oxygen through. I'm finally cutting the stranger in two. The humming is dying, the air is now still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more glitches, no more disguise. I'm finally waking with my own eyes. With my own eyes. I'm walking on floorboards that are ready to snap, caught in a house that feels like a trap. The dust in the corners is starting to rise, hiding the me from my own tired eyes. I'm a guest in a building with no solid ground, searching for a place where the air is still sound. I'm loosening the screws just to see the roof bend, trading a start for a quiet cold end. There's a shadow with hands moving through every room, filling the kitchen with the scent of my doom. I ruin the shelter and I welcome the rain, making a home out of familiar pain. I'm begging for a dial to turn down the heat, to find a new rhythm, a different beat. The buzzing in my ears is a swarm of regrets, paying off all of these internal debts. I'm so exhausted from this mental parade, living in a cage that my own hands have made. Let the world shatter and the ceiling cave through. I'm finished with hiding a version of you. I'm howling at the dark until the glass starts to fly, looking for a reason to not have to lie. Scream it out loud, let the oxygen in. I'm shedding the weight of this borrowed skin. The humming is dying, the air is now still. I'm standing at the top of a very high hill. No more acting, no more lies. I'm finally waking with my own eyes. Climbing up metal that's rusted and thin, looking for the place where the real me has been. The wind is a whisper that's pulling my coat, while a cold, heavy silence is filling my throat. I'm a frame with no build and a ghost on a ledge, walking the line of a dangerous edge. Loosening the bolts just to feel the frame sway, watching the colors of my life drift away. There's an uninvited shadow that's taking my air, leaving me hollow with nothing to spare. I ruin the safety and I welcome the fall, writing my failures in ink on the wall. I'm begging for a button to turn off the sound, to find a new rhythm and get off the ground. The buzzing in my ears is a storm of regrets, collecting a price that I haven't paid yet. I'm so exhausted from this mental parade, living in a cage that my own hands have made. Let the iron snap and the mirrors all fly. I'm done with the colors of a beautiful lie. I'm shouting at the emptiness until the stars turn bright, stealing back my spirit from the middle of the night. Smash the lock open, let the oxygen through. I'm finally breaking, stranger in two. The door frame is leaning to the left. I'm breathing in the dust of what is left. Every step I take across the floor is a sound I haven't heard before. I look in the glass and see a ghost, the version of me I hate the most. My chest is a room that's locked up tight. I've been sitting in the dark to save a light. It's getting harder just to move my hands under the weight of all these broken plans. I try to scream but the hinges are stuck. I'm waiting for a change or just some luck. I've spent a lifetime acting like I'm fine, drawing circles round a disappearing line. I ruin the things that I try to fix, like pouring water on a burning wick. It's exhausting to wear this heavy mask. Is freedom really such a lot to ask? Splitting, but I'm standing tall. I let the ceiling and the rafters fall. If I break the frame, I can start again. Find a way to wash away the stain. The metal is cold and the iron is old, but I'm finally doing what I am told. The walls are moving closer every day. I've run out of things to even say. There's a person living underneath my skin. I don't know where they end or I begin. The air is thin and the light is turning gray. I'm watching all my colors fade away. I whisper secrets to the empty space, but all I hear is my own tired face. Every shadow has a heavy stone to throw. 1,000 reasons why I ought to go. It's getting quiet in this hollow shell. I'm the only one inside this quiet hell. I burn the bridges just to see the fire. Then I wonder why I'm stuck upon the wire. I've lied so much about being okay that I've forgotten how to find the day. My mind is spinning like a broken wheel. I just want something that is real to feel. With my bare hands and pull the rhythm from the desert sands. Let the noise come crashing through the ceiling until the only thing I have is feeling. I'm tearing down the mirrors on the wall to see if I can stand up after is jagged on the floor. I don't recognize my shadow anymore. There's a quiet war behind my eyes, hidden under all these soft white lies. I'm a puzzle with a missing piece, waiting for the ticking clock to cease. My lungs are full of cold and heavy smoke. Every hello feels just like a joke. I build a cage and then I lock the gate, blaming everything on cruel fate. The version of me that the world can see is someone I don't even wanna be. Watching every bluebird drift on by, I push away the hands that reach for mine, searching for a spark or any sign that I can wash the salt out of my soul and finally feel like I am whole. Glass break into tiny stars and stop the bleeding over these hidden scars. If I lose it all, then I am free to find the person deep inside of me. The storm is coming and the rain is near, but I am done with living in this fear. The edges of my skin are getting thin. I'm losing where the outside meets within. A quiet ghost is sleeping in my bed, repeating every word I never said. I'm a map that's been folded far too much, losing feeling in every single touch. There is a leaden anchor in my throat while I'm trying just to stay afloat. I smile until my face begins to ache, to hide the way I'm starting now to shake. The mirror shows a person I don't know, watching all the seeds of worry grow. I pull the string until the sweater breaks, collecting all my yesterday's mistakes. I shut the curtains to the morning sun, because I'm finished before I've begun. The weight of being human is a debt I'm paying for a life I haven't met. I'll let the seams all come apart tonight and stop the useless, heavy, hollow fight. If I unravel like we're even new and find a version that is finally true, the thunder in I'm stepping out from underneath the cloud. Frames are hanging crooked on the wall. I'm waiting for the heavy paint to fall. There's a stranger staring back at me, someone that I never meant to be. The hallway is a mile of cold cement, wondering where all the feeling went. I've painted over every single scar to hide the broken things, that's who we are. But the colors are beginning now to bleed, giving me the silence that I need. It's getting hard to keep the doors wide open when every word I say is already broken. Erect the art before the work is done, and hide away from everyone under the sun. I'm tired of trying just to act the part, with an anchor tied around my beating heart. The pressure in my head is like a vice. I've paid the highest, lonely, heavy price. I'll strip the canvas back to Clayton white and stop the spinning in the middle of the night. If I burn the house, I can build it back and fill it every wide, jagged crack. The drums are calling and the air is clear. I'm walking out of everything I fear. The frames are hanging crooked on the wall. 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 The frames are hang frames are hanging crooked on the The morning comes with a heavy hand, like water pouring through the sand. There is a shadow living in my chair, breathing in the very same cold air. I'm a map with all the ink rubbed out, choking on a different kind of doubt. I've practiced how to keep a steady face while I'm running from a ghost I can't outpace. My fingers tremble when I touch the keys. I'm begging for a moment of some ease. It's getting dark inside this wooden box. I'm searching for the keys to all the locks. Tear the pages before the story ends, and push away the kindness of my friends. I've spent a decade pretending I am fine, while I'm walking on a thin and jagged line. The noise inside my skull is getting loud. I'm looking for a gap within the cloud. I'll break the windows just to feel the breeze and fall down to my tired shaking knees. If I let the fire take the whole damn room, I can finally sweep away the heavy gloom. The sun is cold, but it is finally there. I'm pulling back the curtain for some air. Pulling back the curtain for some air. The ceiling is a heavy shade of blue. I'm searching for a version that is true. There's a quiet thief inside my head, stealing every single word I said. I'm a bird with wings of heavy lead, lying in a cold and empty bed. I've learned to wear a smile like a coat, while there is a jagged anchor in my throat. I pull the wires just to see them fray, to keep the better parts of me away. The mirror is a window to a ghost, the person that I really fear the most. I'm tired of trying just to be okay, while I'm watching all the seas seasons turn to gray. I break the things I finally learned to love, like a storm cloud hanging high above. The static in the air is getting thick. I'm reaching for a candle and a stick. Turn them to a roar and kick the heavy hinges off the door. If I burn the house, I can see the sky and finally tell the truth instead of why. The match is lit and the light is small, but I am standing, even if I fall. The morning is a pale and empty room. I'm sweeping up the pieces of the gloom. There is a phantom walking in my shoes, with nothing left for me to even lose. I'm a letter that was never sent, wondering where all the feeling went. I've learned to keep a steady, hollow pace, while hiding every tremor in my face. My lungs are full of heavy winter air. I'm searching for a reason just to care. It's getting quiet in this plastic shell. I'm the only one inside this quiet hell. Forgotten just to see it die, then wonder why the sun is in the sky. I've spent a lifetime acting out a part, with an iron chain around my beating heart. The static in my head is far too loud. I'm looking for a gap within the clouds. To the ground and find a way to make a brand new sound. If I snap the wire, I can finally see the person that is buried deep in me. The drums are calling and the path is clear. I'm walking out of everything I fear. The carpet is a desert under my feet. I'm listening to a heart that doesn't beat. There is a shadow standing by the door, watching me until I hit the floor. I'm a map with all the ink washed thin, wondering where the outside meets within. I've learned to hold my breath until it burns, while I'm waiting for the tide to finally turn. My hands are shaking like a dying flame. I'm shouting out a very different name. It's getting crowded in this hollow space. I'm the only one without a steady face. Pull the thread until the fabric tears, and hide my secrets under all the stairs. I've spent a decade acting like a stone, while I'm feeling so incredibly alone. The static in the room is getting deep. I'm trying to wake up from a heavy sleep. And break apart and find a brand new rhythm for my heart. If I lose the path, I can start to run and find a way to reach the morning sun. The drums are loud and the air is clear. I'm walking out of everything I feel. The ceiling is a heavy shade of gray. I'm watching all the colors melt away. There is a phantom sitting in my chair, breathing in the very same cold air. I'm a letter that was never read, wondering where the outside meets my head. I've learned to keep a steady, hollow pace, while hiding every tremor in my face. My lungs are full of bitter winter wind, thinking of the person I have been. It's getting crowded in this plastic shell. I'm the only one inside this quiet hell. I wreck the garden just to see it die, then wonder why the sun is in the sky. I've spent a decade acting out a part, with an iron chain around my beating heart. The static in the room is far too loud. I'm looking for a gap within the clouds. Snap and break apart, and find a brand new rhythm for my heart. If I snap the wire, I can fight with see the version that is buried deep in me. The drums are calling and the path is clear. I'm walking out of everything